Hey guys, it's Nate, aka the Foot Accountant. Welcome back to the channel. It's early release Friday on FC 26, and the pre-order reward that we've all been waiting for finally drops today. The first icon packs of FC 26 are being opened today, guys. It is going to be an absolute blast to open these packs, see who we get, and then, of course, build our teams around those players. It's going to be really easy because an icon plugs and plays in a team with chemistry boost galore. And all these icons, as we know, look decent enough. Even if you get the worst one, they're probably still playable at this early stage of the game, and they're going to go into your squad. But not only is it going to go into our squads and be interesting to see those icons be opened in packs, I'm also very interested to see how they impact the market. Because think about it, maybe you bought a player for your team, you pack an icon today that replaces that player. Is this going to cause the market to drop a little bit? We're going to discuss that today and all the other content that we're expecting today. We have multiple leaked SBCs. Are we going to get a leaked Reece James today? Are we getting a showdown? Are we getting a flashback? We have a lot to discuss there, guys, on the first Content Friday of FC 26, and the market is a huge topic of discussion. It's up big. Is it going to keep going? Or is it going to drop a little bit today? We're going to discuss that on all different levels for a lot of different card prices in the video. If you're excited for it today, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's start where everything started yesterday with the EA Play release. Of course, as we talked about in yesterday's video, this allowed a lot of people to get on the game early. And of course, there were some issues with this, not surprising. EA tweeted shortly after this was released that there were some issues with players launching EA Play trials and even EA Play Pro on PC. You see some people like Nick down here, Chris, a couple of streamers that I know, talking about how they weren't able to get on the game right away. I know a lot of you guys, specifically on Xbox, were having problems, and all across platforms, people were having issues getting their FC points. The premium season pass for some people is still not showing as premium. It's just showing as the base season pass. Guys, don't spend any of your pre-order FC points on the first season pass. It is included with the Ultimate Edition. If you're missing any rewards right now, all we can hope for is that they would appear today at the content drop time when these icon packs get released, or maybe they already appeared when it became midnight your local time. But yeah, there was definitely some frustration yesterday around the whole drop of the game with EA Play, and a lot of people trying to get on early, but it caused a lot of issues with some stuff being wrong there. Hopefully everybody is on now and good, especially because the Ultimate Edition stuff is open basically around the world. Now, of course, the market was a big topic of discussion yesterday, and we were expecting prices to rise, but holy smokes, 6K for Ekitike all the way up to 37,000 coins where he is now. He almost went to, and almost did actually go. He hit 40,000 coins. That was his highest sale price in the last 24 hours, according to Footbin. The market exploded. There really wasn't a dip when the EA Play thing opened up and a lot of people were getting on the game. There was not much of a dip, guys. It just went straight up. We're talking mid-tier, high tier, literally everything. Now, the cards that went up the most were like the Ekitikes, the Marcus Rashfords, the Chiesas and the Adiemis and the Lacroix. Those kind of starter team players that people can afford after opening their 2,000 FC points and getting a few packs opened on the game and getting some coins. Kind of those middle tier cards, those went up the most. But a lot of the top tier cards went up too. I was trading with some cards like Frankie de Jong yesterday, who I bought for 130,000 coins, and literally 45 minutes later, I sold them for 190,000 coins. Crazy fluctuations. You had some cards that were really rare and expensive before the EA Play drop actually drop in price, like this Marquinhos went from about 50 to 70K all the way down to 40,000 coins, and now he's been up into the 60K range, even went higher after content. And what happened after content was kind of expected too. Guys, we had the release of the first marquee matchups SBC. I think it's in the challenges section here. It is 4 tradable packs, and as these packs were released yesterday, 5 packs with the group reward actually, this was released yesterday, there was some supply that hit the market. You did see some player prices drop. I specifically remember seeing Kvaratskhelia reach a high price of 180,000 coins yesterday before the content drop, and then after marquee matchups was released, he went back down to 140K, and look where he is now, almost back up, 160, 170,000 coins. The market feels very strong. Even with the release of the EU and UK Ultimate Edition 2000 FC points barrage onto the game, if you will. A lot of people logging on. That didn't really impact the market negatively. Player prices are still doing very, very good. In fact, when those times happened, take a look at this David Neres card. A lot of people got on the game at midnight their time last night. Neres was 7K, right? He went from 1,800 to 7K. Dropped all day because of the marquee matchups right in the supply. But when new players get on the game and they open up FC points, this card went from 4,000 all the way back up to 8 to 9K once again. And he's back down to 6 right now. This is a very interesting card to trade with. These like really low tier budget cards are moving a ton on the market because they're the first cards people can afford when they log into the game. Now, these are the types of cards that I would sell as soon as you can this weekend, guys, because after the next 2 or 3 days, a card like this David Neres is not going to have as much usability as it does right now. Seriously, a card like this is going to get passed up pretty quick. People want to upgrade their attackers sooner than their midfielders and their defenders. And an 81 rated card is not going to last super long in teams. Even a card like a Hugo Ekitike and a lot of the cards that I would, shout as 82, 83 rated and below on this game, I would think about selling semi-soonish. Even a Pedro Neto, who's up a lot in price there. You look at an Anthony Gordon, who's 4,000 coins, 5,000 coins. He's moving up a lot. Even a Marcus Rashford. Those are the types of cards that I would label a sell right now. And a lot of people have been asking, Nate, I've packed X card. Should I sell it? Should I keep it? Here's the kind of the easy answer for the keep or sell question right now. If you've packed a player, because most of the time this question is coming out of a I just packed this player sort of situation. If you've packed a player that you weren't expecting to have, if you don't have very many coins, sell the player, no matter how much they cost. If you're not going to use that card, I would just take the cash because those coins give you ability to go do SBCs if you want to, go trade on the market and make more coins with those coins that you get. So I'm always opting to sell on a lot of things. But if you pack like a higher tier card, let's say you pack somebody like the Marquinhos that I was showing, or maybe one of these kind of middle tier to higher tier cards that not even everybody can afford yet. These are cards that you could just put into your team, use for a little while, even though they're tradable, and hope to see some price gains on them later on. That's the best scenario, right? You pack a card or you buy a card, you put it in your team, and you watch the price rise as you get to use it. There's not much of a better feeling in terms of the market on this game than that right there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for the keep or sell in the moment. I like the market. I do. The market right now, since we didn't get store packs, we were expecting 25Ks or 45Ks from last year. We talked about that on the stream today, in the video yesterday. And you know what? Going with the slow power curve that EA really means this year by not putting store packs in the store that would directly impact the amount of money that they make. They have not done that. And so far, we have a market that seems even healthier, and there's been less movements, and it's been a lot more stable after the big rise yesterday with people getting onto the game. I mean, that's a good thing, and it makes me feel like this market has more room to grow. I really think that it does, because as people get on today, they're going to acquire more coins from playing games, getting objectives done. There's not really like rewards that are coming out today or anything like that, but you're just going to acquire coins from completing stuff in the game, and that's going to create the ability, especially through trading as well, that's going to create the ability for people to go out and buy more cards, and I do think that is going to make the market go up. I don't think it's going to make the market skyrocket, nothing near like what we saw yesterday, but could a card like Marmoush actually get close to touching 100,000 coins? Maybe he's not the best example because Marmoush has a lot of hype. He's an 84 rated card. He's a very expensive 84 rated, but for somebody like Rudiger, which right now after I complete a trade of a card that I'm trying to flip right now for a small profit, like this card, he was 110K plus yesterday at his peak, and right now he's still back down to 93,000 coins. If I can snag one of these at like 90K flat, I think that's a card that can rise up. I think there's plenty of cards on the market. A Cole Palmer would be another example, who I invested in, made some coins off of him. I still think he has room to run. I think icons, heroes, they've got plenty of room to run as well, and I think you'll see some of that today on the market. I don't think you'll see a lot of crashing on the market today, except for maybe a little bit of tradable supply. That'd be the only thing that could impact prices on the market today and make a lot of stuff go down. And then in that case, again, I would only be really worried about the low tier. So that's kind of where the market is right now. I think the trading is going to be fantastic today. And if you're asking, Nate, how do I make coins today on Fridays? I'm getting up and getting on the game and doing stuff. Guys, the number one thing I would tell you to do is get on bids. If you're on a low budget, this guy right here, Emmanuel Agbadou, is a perfect just example of a card that you could trade with right now for a couple different reasons, right? Agbadou is packed a lot, but that's a card that people are going to be putting into their team right away when they get on the game. I was just getting this card on bid for 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 coins, and I was selling him for 2K. He's actually down just a little bit right now. This is a card that I have in my team, and I realized, oh yeah, he sells for 2K. So I was doing that. Second thing you can do, this is a huge tip, start chemistry style trading. People are building teams with these cards. I'm going to buy that Agbadou right there for 2.2K with a shadow. Even though shadows don't give as big of a stat boost that they did in previous years, these starter team players that people are buying, they're great to trade with. So I just bought that Agbadou for 2.2. The next cheapest is 3K. You're like, Nate, you're not making much there. That's this time of the game type of grind. You got to make those very small profit trades. If you're trading with a 2K card and you're going to make a couple hundred coins, you're doing it right. I'm going to list this at 2.9. Try to get that quick sale there, make a couple hundred coins. As you can see, I've been doing that with Agbadou. I got a bunch of these cards here that I've won on bid, and the higher priced ones were with shadows on them. So that's what I would do if you're on a lower budget. Get on bids, bid on everything, and lazy list cards. Because guys, one of the things I noticed today, I was trading with Gabrielle for a little bit for some odd reason, right? I got one on bid for like 10K, sold it for 12, just a small flip, right? There were Gabrielles going on bids above 12K. When he was selling at 12K, they were going on bid for 14 to 15,000 coins. And I saw other cards selling for 15 to 16K. That's happening all across the market on lower tier items. You might be able to buy somebody like that Agbadou and then list them up for 1,000 coins over where they actually sell, and you will get sales. So buy popular players, popular leagues, popular positions. I've heard that goalkeepers are lazy selling really well. You could be doing that as a trading method as well on this game on the lower tier budgets. On the higher tier budgets, grind the bids too, but just focus on more rare cards and higher priced cards. If you have more than like 100,000 coins at the moment, you don't even realize it, but you're ahead of so many people on this game. The ability you have to trade and buy players like this, like an Mbeumo or like a Bremer or a Marquinhos or even a Cole Palmer, the ability you have to trade with those players, even maybe touching into some hero cards here, right? 100,000 coins for some of these heroes. I think that some of these could go up a little bit. Not all of them, but some of them, and some of them have already gone up in price. These cards are going to give you great opportunities to trade on bids. Less people can afford them, which means you could potentially get bigger deals. And then you can also try to play into the trends of the market as well. If you think the market's going to rise today after content, we'll see what happens in some areas with that. But you can try to make some investments, put some cards in your transfer list, and wait for them to rise during the weekend. Because if the content isn't super crazy today, apart from, of course, the icon packs, we could see some more rises there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for the market right now. It feels pretty safe, and it feels like really there's only one way up unless we have some sort of surprise news or we have some sort of surprise supply as well. Because right now it just feels like there's a lot of demand and there's not very much supply with only 7.5K packs in the store. We might be headed for a pretty expensive market to start this year. I want to look at Team of the Weeks just for a quick second. I bought a Harry Kane for 149,000 coins. He's up to 175. That's my main investment right now. I plan to hold that card at least through the rest of the day today because I think he has great potential to keep rising in price, and informs will probably start to rise. The ones that are going to rise out of packs, there's not going to be as much supply for these after today, and they should continue to rise. Last year, I believe Team of the Week 1 started to rise as of Friday that they were in packs. Now, content today. That's the next biggest thing. Of course, we're talking about these icon packs and how they're going to impact the market, but of course, just the fun ability that we have today. If you pre-ordered the game by a certain time, to get on today and at the content drop. That's been a very big question for a lot of people as well. W hat there, Mr. Manager. Hashtag ad for Puma. The icons today, that distracted me, I can't lie. The icons today are going to be released at 6 p.m. UTC, which I believe is 6 p.m. UK, which is also the regular content drop time. So as we get on today for regular content, we should be seeing these packs get added to our stores for those of us who pre-ordered the game by August 26th. And once again, these are the icons that we could potentially get today from this image. We can zoom in on it a little bit here and see the cards. They're all good. Obviously, Jones is the worst one. We do not want to pack Jones today, but even her card is still usable. I think she's a little bit short compared to some other center backs, and that's probably going to be a bit of an issue with her card in game, and she might end up being the most packable card from this bunch today. But Chiellini, Marcelo looks usable. Totti looks awesome. You know, Gerard would be good. Boom Kunsha would be awesome. Cece would be great. Seeger, más o menos, right? Cruz, kind of good, same thing. And then the rest of this top row, unbelievable if you pack one of them. Best of luck to all of you guys that are opening some of these up today. Come to the stream with these packs. We'll be doing some share plays. It's just going to be a blast. Like, this is the first time ever we've been given an icon to start the year. With. These are going to go boom straight into our teams. You look at some of the stats of the players that I have in my squad and the players that are here with the icons. The icons are clear of most players in my team right now, except for maybe Dumornay. You could argue has a little bit better stats than a couple of those cards in my squad. So with these cards being so good, I do think they're going to impact the market a little bit. Think about it. All of us who pre-ordered and are getting one of these packs are kind of getting an icon that's the cheapest icon on this game right now is 160,000 coins, I believe, or 150K right now, 140,000 coins. At least every single one of these icons would be valued around that mark on the market. Let's say for 100K just to round down. Everybody's getting a 100K-ish valued player that pre-ordered the game today to get this icon pack. I do believe that that could make some player prices drop. Now, looking at these icons, the most common positions you have in here are striker, center mid, and cam, kind of like that part of the pitch. You got a lot of strikers, right? You've got Ibra, R9, you've got Alex Morgan, Thierry Henry, you've got Totti, you've got Boom Kunsha, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Then you've got some midfielders like Seeger, Gerard, Iniesta, Cruz. CC is a cam in there as well. And you only have a couple of defenders, right? You've got Khan and net, you've got Marcelo, Chiellini, and Jones. So there's a chance that some of the midfielders and some of the strikers that maybe we have in our teams right now and on the market as people are selling them as they get these icons could take a bit of a hit in price. Maybe it would be just strikers and cams and center mids to take the biggest hit, but I don't think it would be that big of a hit as well. Just a little bit of a turn down in price. We'll just have to see what happens there. And it really, I think the rest of the content drop today matters more for the prices of the market and what we see happening there today than the icons that get released, because not everybody's getting an icon pack. A lot of people are, but not everybody is. It's just going to be so fun to have those open today. And you're going to start seeing those icons almost in every team you match up against when you go into division rivals, you try to level up, the daily knockout tournament, if you're trying to play that, you're going to start seeing those icons everywhere. And it's going to be crazy when you come up against somebody who's got R9 or Henry or something crazy like that. Now, for the rest of content today, we have some SBC leaks. Now, I don't think we're getting more than 2 of these SBCs today. I would imagine it would probably just be 1, but there are some decent cards coming. Reece James World Tour is coming via an SBC card here. 86 pass, 84 defense, 84 dribble, only 81 pace, but you put an anchor on that card, that's a solid right back. Hopefully this SBC is a decent value card. Watch out for maybe some of your Chelsea players like a Cole Palmer, or even the link to Reece James, Lauren James, his sister. She could be a card that moves up a little bit on the market if this SBC is very valuable. And some other Prem right backs. I don't know if Frimpong would really drop too much with this, because Frimpong is just in another league with his pace. But this is much more of a defensive right back and probably a right mid as well. Reece James had that alternate position. So there's a high chance that SBC would be today. I also think there's a high chance it could be this Dzeko. Once again, maybe we'll have 2 SBCs. Maybe it'll just be 1. This doesn't live up to the same levels of hype of KDB or of Alaba that we've had in previous years. But that's an interesting card, and I think it should be decently cheap, right? 86 shooting, 82 dribble, 80 physical for an 85 rated Edin Dzeko. Hopefully that one's cheap and fun to use. This showdown, I should honestly look up when this game is. You guys will probably know more than me. Whenever this game is being played, expect the showdown to be a few days before. That Nicolas Pepe card with a weak foot upgrade could actually be very good with the 89 pace. That's a link to Ayo's Perez, very popular starter card right now in this game. Berchiche looks decent, but Nicolas Pepe definitely looks better. That's our Showdown SBC that is leaked. There's a +1 on the line there. And more English World Tour SBCs are leaked as well with Chukwuemeka. That card looks usable, though. That's an 82 rated card, by the way. Look at those stats for an 82. It's a very solid card. I know one of the comments is Wara slow power curve, and actually Foot Police says it's an SBC with 4 squads. So hopefully it's not that expensive. Do you need to invest in fodder for any of these? It would be, probably a question some of you guys are asking. I would say no. I don't think it's worth investing in 84s, 85s, or 86s right now. But I will say, getting on bids for some of these cards, make sure they're not at minimum price. But like bidding on random 87s, like maybe Sam Kerr or Beth Mead or Lavelle, those are cards that often people are going to forget about, but they're going to get packed. You can probably make some decent coins off of those cards there. But wait, there's more in terms of the leaks. We've got Nas from Spurs, 86 pace, 86 dribbling on her card, is an 83 striker. That looks decent. Remember, we need a full English team by the end of this season to work in some of the tournaments and to work in, I think at the end of the season tournament there, and some of the other objectives that we have. We need a full English team. So some of these SBCs will be nice and needed to complete. This was a big leak yesterday because there were some packs added to the code. Evidently, that Ultimate Scream is 100% returning. We'll be talking about that later on. That's probably going to be a month away, if not maybe a little bit more. And lastly, there are a couple of Squad Foundation SBCs leaked for the Liga F. It's Jensen, Atletico Madrid links, which that's a solid card for Atletico Madrid. Women's links there, or even links to if you chose Ruggeri from the Squad Foundation's player pick with Madrid. 85 shooting pace and dribble. Solid card there. And then this midfielder, Hajl, doesn't look as good, but, the Jensen does look pretty solid there. So those are all the leaked SBCs that we have right now. In terms of leaks, that's mostly what we've got. I think is honestly a possibility today, too, that we could have an evolution. All we've had so far is the intro to Evos, the Evos from Foundations, and then one cosmetic evolution as well. There is a possibility, apart from the training camp Evos, that we have another evolution today too. Foot Police did mention that there's a couple of Evos that do give +10 in terms of a singular stat, but they're in line with the power curve is the way that he described that. So we're going to watch that very closely to see what happens with content drop today. If we don't have any tradable pack supply and the icon pack is kind of the biggest piece of content, maybe we get one small SBC or just a decent fun SBC, then I do believe you could see the market start to kind of take off again, especially on the middle to higher tier. I do remember last year on the Friday night of the first Friday of the Ultimate Edition release, you did see some prices start to lift off on those more expensive cards, icons, heroes, the team of the weeks, and, high rated players. And that's why I went out and picked up that Harry Kane team of the week. We'll see if he can do really well for us in price today. But it's the first Friday of FC26. If you pre-ordered the game, we're all on. There's no more, how do you get this on? How do you do EA Play? The game's open, and it's very exciting, and it's very, very nice to finally have it be here after months of FC25. We don't even want to talk about that anymore. It's just all about FC26, right? It's going to be a fun day today, guys. Make sure you come by the stream. It'll be here on YouTube, also on Twitch. We'll be opening up those icon packs, probably getting into the tournament. I got to continue to try to make some progress there. I got to the quarterfinals twice yesterday in two of my attempts, and I could not go any further than that. We got to fix up and get to the final and win the early access tournament so that we can get qualified for the finale later on this week. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. Drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Catch you there. Peace out.